Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So while there's all this talk of the imminent collapse of Donald Trump and supposedly he's gonna take the GOP with him, like I keep saying, I think it's a distraction, and the real collapse that's currently occurring is not happening to the GOP and Donald Trump, but rather the Democrat Party. The DNC is collapsing in real time, and this latest Kamala Harris Youth Summit debacle, well, it might be the most pathetic symptom yet. I think we are watching the slow death of a political movement that has absolutely nothing left to offer but recycled talking points, empty virtue signaling, and frankly, a complete disconnect from the people that they claim to represent. The Democrat Party was always the youth party, right? Cool with the kids. Well, it seems no more is that the case, as Democrats just held a youth summit event and nobody frickin' showed up. And just think about that. Kamala Harris spoke at this event, although virtually. The last Democrat presidential candidate shows up and nobody frickin' cared. This is a party on life support, folks, and they are trying so hard to distract from it, but of course it's my job to continue putting the spotlight on their misery, aka Operation Saving America from Socialism. Let me show you guys exactly what happened here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's first set the scene. We're hearing reports that Kamala Harris is re-emerging, she's stepping back into the spotlight, into the political arena. There's all this talk of Kamala Harris coming back and running for the governor of California position, which kind of makes me think they're going to run Gavin Newsom in the next election. But anyways, they're putting Kamala Harris back out there, and step number one is Democrats launching this big initiative to rally the youth vote.
Former Vice President Kamala Harris about to step back into the political arena any moment now as the failed presidential candidate weighs a run for California governor. She is set to virtually address a summit of young and progressive voters in Washington. And this will be her second major speech since burning through $1.5 billion in a losing bid to save the Democratic ticket last November. And we can expect, of course, some fresh comments about President Trump, like this one she made back in April.
Some people are describing what's been happening in recent months as absolute chaos. And it's certainly true of those tariffs. Tariffs that, as I predicted, are clearly inviting a recession.
The Democrats try to create big hype with Kamala Harris coming back to the scene. And then, well, the main event occurred, with Kamala Harris in attendance in all her cackling glory. And let's just say it was a complete disaster.
Democrats threw a party today and no one showed up.
Let's go! So some ground rules. I don't think that this will be super necessary because you all seem really cool, smart, and hot. Who the are we? And why are we here in a panda head? I also have had a long-term feud with former presidential candidate Marianne Williamson because she sucks. Memes change people's minds. So what's a meme, huh? Come on, people. Look alive.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the person who's giving us special remarks.
Hello, voters of tomorrow. I want to thank you for everything you all are doing to organize, empower, and advocate for Gen Z. We must be intentional about lifting up our young leaders and encouraging your ambition. Your generation has grown up on the front lines of so many crises, from COVID and the climate crisis to gun violence and mental health. You know what's at stake, and you are not waiting for someone else to figure it out.
No crowd, no energy, just a weird low-budget pep talk to a handful of probably DNC interns, let's be honest. But outside of the fact that this looked like a Joe Biden 2020 rally, going into the actual content here, Kamala Harris's moment, the big issues that she decides to highlight for young Americans, climate and firearms. Yeah, they got rid of David Hogg as a DNC vice chair, but they certainly haven't gotten rid of his influence. I mean, really? Climate and guns? That's it? That's the big strategy that Kamala Harris is leading to win back the youth vote at the 2025 DNC Youth Summit? Holy frickin' moly, what a bunch of morons. As if the average young American is sitting around thinking, wow, I sure hope Kamala Harris comes in to save us from the existential threat of weather, and I hope she takes away all our guns. I mean, come on. No wonder this party's collapsing. What a bunch of dummies. Young people today are being crushed by inflation inflation, by high rent, by housing prices, and most importantly by the job market being undercut by illegal immigrants and also legal immigrants. There's more competition for housing, more competition for spots in universities, and then of course more competition in the professional world, whether it be high-paid professional jobs or even labor jobs, because the Uniparty has sold out the nation to this globalist vision of endless economic growth for massive corporations. The issue that young people have is that upward mobility is near non-existent for a good segment of the population, and Democrats send out Kamala Harris to hit us with yet again another totally vague, totally surface-level word salad where she leans into the dumbest issues and pushes all the buzzwords. What a complete disaster. I mean, these people are so far removed from reality, it's not even funny. What an embarrassing display, not only the speech, not only the lack of attendance, but even the attendance itself.
My name is Jess. I go by she, her, they, them pronouns, y'all.
Right now we're in 2025, and obviously we know we're on the brink of climate catastrophe.
Our diversity is our strength.
Men, even though we by and large support abortion rights, are not doing anything. That needs to change too.
We are being unequivocal about speaking out against an administration that wants to rip away the foundations of our democracy to pad the pockets of a couple of billionaires who cannot seem to ever have enough.
A bunch of young woke activists and some dude wearing a panda mask. I guess he's a furry. I don't know. Maybe it was just a joke, but the Democrat Party is so far removed from reality and normal human being behavior that instantly my brain goes, oh, so we got a furry hosting the event. This is a party in full-on collapse, folks, and it's not just Kamala Harris flopping. It's the whole damn thing, and it's becoming increasingly undeniable, even to the extent where now top Democrats themselves are starting to admit that the ship is sinking.
There's no doubt that, we have work to do. When you hit rock bottom, there's only one direction to go, and that's up, and that's what we're doing.
Do you really think you should run another woman? You guys are 0-2 with women.
I don't know. Democratic voters are going to decide that. I don't think a person's gender, we're going to nominate women going forward, and as we well should. All right, I don't have anything, but what I want, if it's a male or a female, I want them to be able to talk about things and communicate in a very direct way.
Carville called his party a cracked-out clown car.
There was a clip there of the DNC chairman admitting that the party has hit rock bottom. And these are the people who are trying to convince us that Donald Trump is the one that's falling apart. We are watching the Titanic sink in slow motion. This is the end stage of a party with no direction, no leadership, and clearly no frickin' clue. This Democrat Youth Summit was supposed to be a moment of revival, a comeback, where Kamala Harris takes the stage and appeals to the most important voting demographic, the future voters, but instead this whole thing just proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Democrat base is gone, the message is empty, and the leadership is a complete joke. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.